We wish you didn't have to be here today, but when I received letters on top of letters and contacts in 6 town hall meetings that I held last week, live town hall meetings, like this one from Rachel Haynes in Eaton Rapids, Michigan, where she talks about the fact of being cutting off from her insurance, her husband and 5 children, and she says this: I hated the idea of getting on the healthcare.gov website, as I believe insurance is a private matter. I did it anyway. The website did not work, so I called a number. And she goes on to tell of talking with a person on the phone and ultimately being hung up on. That's the reason why this hearing is important. Frankly, Mr. Chairman, I believe that this whole act that was put into law under the cover of darkness with the simple votes from the other side of the aisle, who now take offense at us having hearings like this on problems and doing proper oversight, is the reason to have this hearing today, because people like Rachel Haynes and her family are concerned not only about security, but right now, that's one of the biggest concerns on a website that doesn't work for her. I want to go back to some of the concerns in the MITRE report. And I want to ask, first question, Mr. Chow has already, in earlier statements to questions just before me, indicated when asked why he didn't push back on opening this thing up on October 1st. He didn't ask why. So I'm going to go to Mr. Bateman, because I think that's an important question. Should have been asked. Why? Why do we have to open up on October 1st? But the question I would ask here, Mr. Bateman, MITRE is responsible for conducting the security control assessment for the Federal Exchange. Is that correct?
That's my understanding.
According to MITRE, the final security assessment for the Federal Exchange occurred from late August through mid-September. Is that your understanding?
It is.
Mr. Bateman, to the best of your knowledge, did MITRE conduct a complete integrated security test of the federal marketplace?
I can't answer that. I don't have visibility into it.
Well, I'd like a document put up that deals with this test and the outcome. If I could have this particular document. Okay. If you see there, FFM, the website, the marketplace, complete percentage, 66% complete. That's it. 66% complete. This document was obtained by the committee. We have in place. Let me ask this question, Mr. Bateman. Is it a problem that MITRE wasn't fully able to test 1/3 of the exchange?
I can't answer that. This project was run and managed by CMS. They're responsible for the security.
In the security control assessment dated October 11th, 2013, and of which a preliminary copy was given to CMS, on September 23rd, 2013, MITRE writes that they were unable to adequately test the confidentiality and integrity of the health insurance exchange system in full. They go on to say MITRE also writes the application at the time of testing was not functionally complete. Mr. Pauner, what are the dangers of conducting a security assessment on an incomplete system?
Well, you could have vulnerabilities that go untested. Also, too, on this document, see, there's a lot of dates that don't add up. My understanding is that MITRE conducted their security assessment in August and September, and it was later September. So there's data all over the place. The bottom line to your point, though, is it wasn't done on a complete system.
MITRE has told, Mr. Pauner.
Excuse me, I just want to point out that that's a CGI-provided document. That's not from CMS. You see on the bottom it says...
Yeah, I understand that. MITRE has told committee staff that, to their knowledge, there has not been a comprehensive test of the entire system. What are the dangers posed by not conducting a complete integrated security test of all the system components, Mr. Pauner?
Well, in order to ensure that your data is secure and the system's safe to use, you want to test on as complete a system as possible.
Well, then, based on what you know, were Americans' sensitive personal information at risk when healthcare.gov opened on October 1st, 2013?
I don't know what happened from mid-September on. That's the only caveat I'd like to say, because there was testing done through mid-September, and I am blind to what happened in that period of time.
Well, can you ensure? Could you then ensure?
The gentleman's time has expired. If you could wrap up very
I'll wrap up.
quickly,
The last
sir.
question. Can you ensure the American people that the website will work on November 30th?
The gentleman may answer.
Asking Mr. Poner.
That's not my responsibility.
Okay, so you can't.
Let me ask you any other.
No, the gentleman's time has expired. If anyone else wants to answer the November 30th, they may. Mr. Park, will it work on November 30th? Properly, fully?
The team set a goal of having healthcare.gov function smoothly for the vast majority of Americans. The team has worked incredibly hard to meet that goal
I thank the
With
gentleman.
secure information
with secure information.
on November 30th. Thank you.
Okay. The gentleman from Nevada.